My name is Tyler, and I worked night security at a Chuck E. Cheese location in suburban Michigan for exactly 1 week. This is what happened on my last shift. I'm writing this from a hotel room 3 states away. My hands are shaking so badly, I can barely type. But I need to write this down before I forget, before I convince myself it wasn't real. Or worse, before I start to miss it. Let me start at the beginning. 3 weeks ago, I got an eviction notice. I had 14 days to come up with $2,400, or I'd be on the street. I'd been working part-time at a warehouse, but it wasn't enough. I was drowning. I was desperate. That's when I saw the job listing. Night security, Chuck E. Cheese, no experience necessary, $28 an hour. $28 an hour to watch an empty building overnight? It seemed too good to be true, but I was too broke to care. The listing mentioned strict adherence to internal procedures and something about facility continuity, but I figured that was just corporate speak for don't steal anything. I should have paid more attention to that phrase. Facility continuity. I got hired the same day I applied. The manager, a tired-looking woman named Carol, met me in the office that smelled like burnt coffee and old printer toner. She handed me a radio, a key card, and a laminated sheet of paper. Rules for the night shift, she said. I glanced at the sheet. It had about 10 rules typed in Arial font. They seemed weird, but not alarming. Is this like a liability thing? I asked. Something like that. Corporate doesn't publicly acknowledge the night security position, but they never shut it down either. As long as you follow the rules exactly, you'll be fine. What happens if I don't follow them? She didn't answer. She just handed me a name badge that said Tyler and told me to start that night at 10 p.m. My first shift started normally enough. I arrived at 9:45 p.m. The families were filing out, parents carrying sleeping toddlers, kids clutching prize tickets. The arcade lights were dimming. The music, aggressively cheerful pop music, was fading to silence. By 10:15, the building was empty, or at least it should have been. Carol looked to the front doors and gave me a tired wave. Good luck. Radio if you need anything. And Tyler, don't improvise. Just follow the rules. And then she left, and I was alone. I pulled out the laminated sheet and read the first rule. Rule 1. After closing, do not refer to Chucky by his full name. Use the host, or CE, only. I laughed. It was so ridiculous. Like saying Bloody Mary 3 times in a mirror. Corporate superstition. I walked through the empty dining area, doing my first sweep. The animatronic stage was still lit. Chucky and his band frozen mid-performance. Chucky's plastic eyes stared straight ahead. His permanent grin stretched across his face. All right, Chuck E. Cheese, I said aloud, just to prove how stupid the rule was. Let's see what you got. The stage lights flickered, just once, then steady again. I told myself it was the wiring, old building, faulty electrical, but the air felt different after that, heavier. I continued my rounds. The arcade was dark, except for a few machines on standby mode. The prize counter was locked in. The kitchen was spotless and empty. But something felt off. The building didn't feel empty. It felt paused, like it was holding its breath. I checked my watch, 11:47 p.m. Then I heard it. Music. Faint at first, coming from the main stage. A cheerful, tinny melody. One of Chucky's birthday songs. I walked back to the dining area and stopped. The animatronics were moving. Not much, just small program gestures. Chucky's head turned slightly, his hand raised in a wave. The music played from hidden speakers. The same song I'd heard 100 times during the day shift. But then, the song stopped. Mid-chorus. Chucky's head turned slightly, his hand raised in a wave. The music played from hidden speakers, the same song that would play hundreds of times during the day. But then, the song stopped. Mid-chorus, just cut off abruptly. I checked the laminated sheet again. Rule 2. If an animatronic finishes a song early, applaud. Do not walk away until you do. I stood there, feeling ridiculous, but the silence was worse than the music. It pressed against my ears. This is stupid, I muttered. The song started again. Louder this time. Faster. Chucky's movements were jerky, unnatural. His head snapped from side to side. My heart was pounding. I raised my hands and clapped 3 times. The music stopped immediately. Chucky's head turned toward me. Slowly. Smoothly. His eyes weren't supposed to move like that. I backed away and went to the security office. My hands were shaking as I pulled up the camera feeds. 12 screens showed different angles of the empty restaurant. The kitchen, the arcade, the party rooms, the stage. Everything looked normal. Then, I noticed something on the timestamp. Camera 3, the main dining area, showed a birthday party. Kids in party hats, balloons, a cake. But the date stamp read 08/14/2019. I switched to camera 4. Same party, different angle, same old date. I flipped through all the cameras. They were all showing old footage, parties from years ago. And in every single feed, Chucky was there, standing in the background, watching. Even in footage where the animatronics should have been powered down. I grabbed the radio. Carol, you there? Static. Carol, the cameras are showing old footage. I think the system's glitching. More static. Then, her voice, distant and crackling. That's normal. Don't worry about the cameras. What do you mean that's normal? Just follow the rules, Tyler. You're doing fine. The radio went dead. I looked back at the screens. In camera 3, Chucky was closer to the camera than he'd been a second ago. I checked my watch. 12:03 a.m. I pulled out the laminated sheet with shaking hands. Rule 3. Never power down the stage before the ticket counter. Always shut down the systems in order. First, ticket counter. Second, arcade. Third, stage. I hadn't shut anything down yet, but according to the schedule, I was supposed to start the shutdown sequence at midnight. I walked to the ticket counter and flipped the breaker. The lights went out. Then the arcade. Machines powered down with a series of beeps and electronic whines. Finally, I approached the stage. Chucky was staring straight ahead, motionless. I reached for the breaker box mounted on the wall behind the curtain. My hand was halfway to the switch when I heard footsteps. Small footsteps. Running. I spun around. The dining area was empty, but I heard it again. Laughter. Children's laughter. I checked the camera. Nothing. Just empty rooms. Then, I heard a voice over the intercom.
Alright, kids. Who's ready for a super special birthday surprise?
It was Chucky's voice. Cheerful. Energetic. Exactly like the recorded lines that played during the day. But the intercom system was off. I could see the control panel from where I stood. All the lights were dark.
We have a guest tonight. Let's give a big Chuck E. Cheese welcome to Tyler.
My blood went cold. The intercom shouldn't know my name. The automated system used generic phrases. Birthday boy, birthday girl. Never real names. I grabbed the laminated sheet again and flipped it over. There was more text on the back. Faded. Written in a different font. Additional rule. If the host learns your real name, you've been scheduled. Do not attempt to leave. Cooperation ensures minimal discomfort. Scheduled? Scheduled for what? I ran to the front doors, pulled the handle, locked. I used my keycard. The light stayed red. I tried the back exit. Same thing. Carol! I shouted into the radio. I need to leave! Unlock the doors! Static. Then, you're almost done, Tyler. Just finish the shift. Carol, it knows my name! I know. Her voice was sad, resigned. It always does, eventually. Just try to stay calm. It's easier that way. The radio cut out. I heard movement behind me, mechanical sounds, servos whirring. I turned slightly. Chucky was standing in the center of the dining area, not on the stage, in the middle of the room, 10 feet away from me. He hadn't walked there. He'd just appeared. His head tilted to one side. The movement was smooth. Too smooth for an animatronic.
"Hi, Tyler,"
he said. His mouth didn't move with words.
"Thanks for coming to celebrate with us tonight."
I backed toward the wall. Stay away from me!
"Don't be scared. We're all friends here."
He took a step forward. His movements were fluid now, natural.
"You're going to love being part of the family."
I'm not part of anything. I'm leaving.
"You can't leave, Tyler. You're scheduled."
Tables began moving on their own, sliding into formation. Party hats appeared on the tables. Balloons floated up from nowhere. A birthday cake materialized on the center table. White frosting, red letters. White frosting. A birthday cake materialized on the center table. White frosting, red letters. Happy scheduling day, Tyler. No candles. Chucky gestured to the chair in front of the cake.
"Have a seat. This is your party.
No!
You don't have a choice."
His voice was still cheerful, still friendly.
"None of us did."
That's when I noticed them. The other animatronics, the ones from the band. They were standing in the shadows around the dining room, watching. But they weren't like robots anymore. They were moving like people, breathing, shifting weight. One of them, the purple bird, spoke in a woman's voice.
"It doesn't hurt as much if you don't fight it."
Chucky extended his hand.
"Come on, Tyler. It's time."
I ran. I didn't know where I was going. I just ran. Through the arcade, past the party rooms, into the kitchen. Behind me, I heard footsteps. Heavy, mechanical, fast. I ducked into a storage closet and locked the door. My radio crackled. Carol's voice. Tyler, please, just cooperate. Fighting makes it worse. What is this? I gasped. What's happening to me? The building needs a host. It always needs a host. Chucky isn't a character. He's a role. Someone always has to play it. That's insane! The previous host has been here for 8 years. He's tired. It's your turn now. Why me? You said his name. You acknowledged him. That's how it works. The building chooses. Something pounded on the closet door.
"Tyler,
Chucky's voice, patient and kind.
this is your purpose now. You'll understand soon."
The door handle started to turn. I looked around frantically. There was a small window above the shelves. Too small for me to fit through, but I could see outside. The parking lot. Freedom. The door burst open. Chucky stood in the doorway. Behind him, the other animatronics. Their eyes were different now. Not plastic. Not mechanical. Human eyes. Terrified human eyes.
"Don't fight it." "I didn't. Neither did the others. We're a family now."
He reached for me. His hand was warm. Not plastic. Not metal. Flesh covered in a costume. Living flesh. I screamed. The world tilted. I felt something cold spreading through my body, starting at my chest, creeping outward. My skin felt tight, wrong, like it was being stretched over something that wasn't me. I looked down and saw my hands changing, fingers fusing together, skin hardening, turning gray, smooth, plastic. No. Chucky had held my shoulders gently.
"It's okay. You're becoming part of something bigger. Something that lasts forever."
My voice was changing, getting higher, tinny, mechanical. I tried to scream, but what came out was a cheerful laugh, pre-recorded, not mine. The other animatronics gathered around. The woman in the purple costume touched my arm. Welcome to the family. They weren't costumes. They were shells, prisons, bodies transformed into permanent mascots. I could feel my thoughts slowing down, memories fading, being replaced with something else. Programming, scripts, birthday songs. The last thing I remember thinking clearly was, I have to warn someone. Then Carol's voice came on the radio. But I couldn't clock out. I was scheduled. I'm writing this from the hotel room I mentioned. I don't know how I got here. I don't remember leaving the Chuck E. Cheese. I don't remember driving. But I looked in the mirror this morning, and my skin is still gray in places. My fingers don't bend quite right. When I talk, sometimes my voice sounds recorded, pre-programmed. I can feel it pulling me back. The building, the role, Chucky. I called Carol. She answered on the first ring. You can't run from this, Tyler. The building always brings its host back. You're part of the facility continuity now. What does that mean? It means you're scheduled to return. Every host tries to leave, but they all come back. The building won't let you go until you've served your time. How long? Until the next one comes. Until someone else says the name. I looked at my hands again. The gray is spreading. I can feel the programming in my head. Birthday songs, party scripts, the overwhelming urge to smile, to be a good host. I don't know how much longer I have before I'm not Tyler anymore, before I'm just a role. If you ever see a job listing for night security at Chuck E. Cheese, if they mention facility continuity or strict internal procedures, don't apply. Don't go near that building after closing. And whatever you do, don't say his full name. Because the building's always listening. And it's always looking for the next host. I can feel it calling me back now. The pull's getting stronger. Soon, I won't be able to resist. I'll be standing on that stage, smiling, waving, singing birthday songs to kids who don't know that the mouse welcoming them used to be a real person. I used to be Tyler Morrison. Before he was scheduled. Before he became part of the family. Forever.